This podcast is certified fresh. Freshmediaworks.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Marketing Drive. I'm Chris Doelle, and this is the show where I use my commute time to talk about one actionable marketing idea, one tip, one trick, one tidbit, something that can help you get more customers, close more deals, and have a better business life. Today I'm going to talk about one of my pet peeves. People who've known me for a while know that I go off on this often, and that is perfection. Perfection, perfection, perfection. Voltaire said, perfection is the enemy of good. Yeah, and what does that mean? That means if you're trying to be perfect, you're never going to be good at anything. You're just not. You're still caught up in this has to be perfect before I deliver. That nirvana never happens. When you start with something, regardless of how imperfect it is, you have the opportunity to get better and better and better. And if you're ever going to get to perfect, you can't get there without starting. And by starting, I mean putting it out there, not starting in your bedroom practicing and planning and rewriting and scripting. As you can see, I'm angling this towards the podcasting world because I have a lot of people who that's a hang-up for them. It was Steve Jobs who said, real artists ship. Yeah. And what does that mean? That means you've got to put something out there. If you don't put something out there, you'll never get anywhere. You should be busy creating, not busy planning to create. Think about this. The software industry is a perfect example. Microsoft, Apple, you name it. What do? They ship. Their stuff is far from perfect. It's not even close to perfect. You know all those updates you get? Those updates aren't all new features or new enhancements. That's what they promote. Most of the time, those are bug fixes. Those are things that are repaired that weren't perfect. But you know what? They're in business to ship things. And because of that, they can afford to perfect things because they get paid to ship you something that is imperfect. And you buy it gladly because it's got some cool stuff in it, right? Now, in podcasting, I think the podcast series Serial that came out in 2014 by NPR, while it was a boom for people joining as listeners, it did such a good job of bringing in audiences that weren't there yet in terms of listening to podcasts. But I think it did a big disservice to people who maybe were entertaining the idea of podcasting, because Serial is a very highly produced product. Yeah, it is not real. It is showtime. And that made a lot of people think, oh, I can't live up to Serial. And that hurt a lot of potential podcasters who felt it had to be highly produced for them to ship anything. Think about Joe Rogan, largest podcaster on the planet. His first episodes sucked compared to where he is now. And you know, he learned on the job. He learned by doing. He got better. He got more money to put into things. But he got that way by getting out there and doing things. And so that's my advice to you, especially if you're considering podcasting. New studies have come out recently that show podcasting is the most trusted media, period. It has the highest return on ad spend, period. It's not even close. And why is that? Is it because podcasts are highly produced and slick and perfect? No, it's because it's real people talking about real things, and they leave in their ums and their ahs. It's just like this show. This is me driving down the road. This is not me in the studio. You can tell by all the background noise. But I have tons and tons of listeners who love this stuff. So don't make your show perfect. Don't make whatever it is you're working on perfect, because you know what? It'll never happen. Ever. And you'll spend all your time thinking, man, I wish I would have started. I'd be much better by now. So get out there, get started. That, my friends, is how you keep it real.
You've been listening to The Marketing Drive with Chris Doelle. To learn more about how Chris can help your company get more customers, call 713-269-4620 or visit us on the web at freshmediaworks.com.